Welcome to you. It's good to have you here on the Damon Bruce Show on Damon Bruce Plus, everybody's favorite YouTube channel these days. We got some exciting podcast kind of numbers to share with you a little bit later on, but today we have a mission. We got to get you ready for what is an Event Horizon game for the Golden State Warriors, and to do that, we got not just a guest. I'm going to go ahead and bill him as a special guest, believe it or not. So I used to do this solo show, right? And then they paired me with Ray, and then it was Damon, Ratto, and Kolsky, and then it was Damon and Ratto. All those years, people think, is the person that you've done the most amount of show with like Larry Krueger? No, it's actually, and I counted these things, Kolsky, believe it or not, you and I did 522 afternoon drive radio shows together in our lives, but this is the first time we've ever done it here on the Plus. How are you, pal?
Man, that's a lot of shows. Good for us.
That's a lot of shows. And by the way, we're both out of work and available to you. So there you go.
Do I need to put a little resume box right here on the... These are my accomplishments. 522 afternoon shows.
I've done this in my life. Anything else? No, not really. But
no.
Look at this. Look at this, everyone. He's got sharp new glasses. I can let you know tonight he is going to be on KNBR around Warriors basketball. So that is going to be an outstanding show. I just heard you filling in for Tolbert the other day, Kolsky, with Adam Copes. You guys had an awesome interview with Marcus Thompson. So needless to say, you have stayed right in the game, sharp as hell, and that's why I wanted to have you on today. We got a lot to talk about in this series, what has happened and what might happen.
Yes, it's I don't want to say it's shocking, because in many ways we've seen the same Warriors we saw all year long, right? But it's disappointing, undoubtedly, and I think in particular the way Game 4 ended. Like, look, we can talk about Jordan Poole, we can talk about the fact that they probably, from a franchise perspective, I imagine they regret not adding a big player to this team at some point. They had opportunities, but fundamentally they had a game one and the three Hall of Famers kicked it around and blew it. And there's really, if that's what's going to happen, then they're in big trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree, and it feels like, we're looking at the modern NBA where everyone figured out that 3 is worth more than 2, but actually in this series, when you're just counting future Hall of Famers, the Lakers' 2 future Hall of Famers have been worth more than the 3 future Hall of Famers of the Golden State Warriors. There's plenty of blame to go around here. Not that we want to spend the entire appearance playing a blame game, because there's more to be appreciative of this dynasty than there is to be angry that an aging team is losing its magic right in front of our eyes. But in a world of spreading blame around, can you pinpoint a person, a decision, a rotation choice, something that you think is most responsible for the 3-1 deficit?
I mean, I don't want to say any one thing is most responsible, just because, look, the 3-1 deficit is really a matter of Game 4, right? I mean, if we were sitting here at 2-2, even if the game had played exactly the same until 3 minutes left, and Steph hits one of those long threes, and instead of one of those terrible Clay shots, they get a 2, and Draymond doesn't just throw it away on the final possession. Like, there are so many little things there. And by the same token, I could look at Jordan Poole and say, if he was even the Jordan Poole of this regular season, which was not as good as the Jordan Poole of last playoffs, would that be enough to have them at 2-2 or even ahead 3-1? There are so many little points of difference that could have gone their way. And I think that's the nature of the playoffs. It's something that Warriors fans have not been used to. And this is oversaid, but not overrated. The margin of error was uncharacteristically big relative to NBA history for the first half of this Warriors dynasty. Like, they kept winning and winning, and then they got Kevin Durant, and they won and won. And in order to not win, they would have had to make an unbelievable number of horrendous mistakes, right?
Right.
Like
Guys would have
they
literally had
could
to have forgotten their sneakers that night.
Right, exactly. So it's different than that. But almost every champion in NBA history has been different than that. But very rare are the times where the margin of error for a champion is that big.
Right.
So
I mean, you and I used to get it right from Steve, right out of his mouth. He would tell us, he'd be like, Damon,
yes.
Matt, this is not the real NBA. What you're looking at is an illusion. It is a stunt. It is it's it's some David Copperfield making the Statue of Liberty disappear shit. Like, this isn't supposed to happen,
right.
But here it is. It's happening.
And beyond that, there is something about the particular magic of Steph Curry. And I think, again, until there were 3 minutes left in the game, we thought last night was one of those nights where it was just the magic of Steph Curry was too much for everyone, that you get used to it. It was the and I think I have perspective on this from, growing up Jordan, so to speak. Because it's a they are incredibly different players in almost every way. But the feeling of magic and the confidence you have, the confidence you had when Michael took those final shots is very similar to the confidence you have when the ball leaves Steph Curry's hands, no matter where he is on the floor, really. So it's weird when it starts to fade, or, in Jordan's case, he comes back and it's not the same, right? But part of this Dynasty experience is wrapping your mind around the end of it. And whether they win tonight, whether they somehow pull a championship out of their asses this year, like, the end is closer than the beginning by a lot. So I tend to be a guy, whether it's Jordan or Tom Brady or, pick your GOAT that I've watched, I'm going to go ahead and err on the it's over when it's over side. And I would bet on the Warriors to win tonight, because I just can't quite see it ending like this. But I also have to acknowledge, I'm not sure what the moment is when I'll be like, all right, I could see it ending like this. It's never going to feel right when it ends, but it is going to end.
I think I do see it ending in Game 6. I do think I see them extending this. I not only do I think the Warriors are going to show you their best punch left, but I also think that tonight is the one night where maybe the Lakers are just predisposed to take their eye off the ball a little, like they did in Game 2 after they got comfy. I don't want to talk about any load management in the playoffs, but less minutes for LeBron Anthony Davis tonight. An early white flag for Darvin Ham, thinking we're going back to win this in 6, and they're not going to want to see a Game 7, so maybe that's the pressure. Maybe basketball Illuminati will assemble to help the Warriors through Game 6, but I do think they pick and roll their way to a win tonight. Matt, we got a little business to do. First of all, look at me. I got sponsors, Matt. It's a delicious sandwich. You know all about Ike's. You have eaten hundreds of those sandwiches, and I suggest everyone go out and eat yourself an Ike sandwich today as you're getting ready for tonight. And we always thank our sponsors. Win, lose, or draw, you might need some whiskey tonight. And Blackened Whiskey is what we're also brought to you by. It's fantastic. I got to get you a bottle, Kolsky. I really do. And Matt, Kolsky is brought to us by the Ganja Jar.
Oh,
the Ganja Jar. Matt Kolsky, everybody. It's a
Ganja Jar.
Perfect marriage made in heaven. But look, man, this is all good things in sports end. I mean, that's how it works. The fact that this has gone on as long as it has, I think, has created a little bit of a false hope in sports fans who don't understand that the rug eventually gets pulled out from underneath everyone. That's how it works. I do think they have a last stand game in them. Go take your shot in Game 6, and then if this comes back to Game 7, I think the Warriors would be favored in that game too. But winning 3 in a row just feels like a huge Herculean ask. I actually went through the schedule to see how many times the Warriors rattled off a 3-game winning streak without looking at the schedule. I must have memorized it like John Dickinson used to, Matt.
No.
Would you even care to fathom how many times the Warriors won at least 3 in a row?
I would guess. I mean, if I had to set an over-under, it would be 1.5.
So I approached it looking for a very negative number. It's actually more than I thought it would be. They have had 6 3 or more winning streaks. They never won 6 in a row. 5 is where they topped out in any winning streak. But they have done it. They just haven't done it against an opponent that is geared up, ready to sharpen the knife, play against them. Tell me how crazy you think this is. If I'm Steve Kerr, who is officially like all out of moves, JaMychal Green ain't sneaking up on anybody. Gary
I have
Payton
a feeling
II.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, so Gary Payton II, right? Like, I don't know why he wasn't thrown out there on Lonnie Walker in the fourth quarter. I'm going to scratch my head on that one for a while. If I'm Steve Kerr, I'm starting Jordan Poole tonight. As bad as everything has gone, I'm starting it, just looking to hope for a spark. Because if he doesn't join the party's over, Matt. Whether it be tonight, game 6 or 7, he's got to look like himself, and I don't think he's going to look like himself coming off the bench. It's a gamble, but what's left?
Well, okay, so 2 things. First of all, I would add to your point in terms of, like, if he doesn't join the party, even if they somehow put it together to sneak past the Lakers with Jordan Poole playing like hot garbage, which is what we saw in Game 4, there's no way they beat Denver like that. Denver, to me, looks awfully tough.
They got the look.
Yeah, so you're right. You are going to need Jordan Poole. And the reason I immediately clocked where you were headed is because you're the second person to say this to me this morning. The first being my father, who, while we were FaceTiming with my kids, as so often happens, it devolved into just the two of us yelling at each other about basketball. And he was like, they got to start
Kolsky.
Jordan Poole for the same reason you said. Like, and we've seen it throughout the season. When Jordan Poole started, he was a different player than when he did not. And I get it. And I don't think it's as crazy as it sounds, given what we've seen from Jordan Poole. But what I did say to my dad, and what I'll say now, is if you do that, and at the first 5 minutes of the game, he looks just as bad. I mean, he has looked like the rookie version of himself, right?
Yep.
Which is an unplayable guy.
Massive regression. Regression.
And so if he's that guy for the first 5 minutes of the game tonight, to me, like, that's it. You've basically lost him forever. He's not going to play this playoffs anymore, and you're going to have to trade him in the offseason. So are you willing to roll the dice that way? I mean, in a sense, why not? And I do think it's a worthy gamble in terms of there is concrete evidence that Jordan Poole is better as a starter, and not just better, but can be truly electric, can be game-changing. And they are rolling D'Lo out there. Like, we know what you can't do is be a non-shooter. They cannot have more than one non-shooter on the floor. Like, those lineups have not generally worked in this series. Jordan Poole is not that. I mean, he's a non-defender, and that's not great, but I don't know. Like, there is a certain sort of wisdom to that. And if you did catch lightning in a bottle with Jordan Poole, and all of a sudden you got one of those games where he seems unstoppable, you know, he put up 30 or something for you, I do think that might change the series. So, like, is it crazy? Yeah, a little bit, but not quite as crazy as it sounds. And in a way, I think it's as good a gamble as anything else right now.
Again, what other lever is even available for Steve to pull on right now other than the forgotten lever? And I wanted to talk to you about this. What the hell do you think happened to Jonathan Kuminga? When did it happen? And I to me, like everyone was talking about, well, he was unplayable in that Sacramento series. All right, maybe. I mean, we got such a little look and it wasn't good, but this is a whole different series. It's a series where you need another athlete, you need some legs, you need some rebounding, and I think he could sort of give the Warriors those things. Are you surprised he has become not just an afterthought, but a non-thought?
I am less surprised than I am frustrated. I'm a huge Steve Kerr guy. Like, I think he's one of the great coaches of all time. I think he brings a unique combination of motivation, strategic excellence, and just like an understanding of people. But what I cannot understand from him, I mean, to me, the answer to where is Kuminga is kind of the same as the answer to where has Moody been all year long. Like, and look, someone could make the argument that Moody is doing what he's doing now because he rode the pine all year and learned something. I find that hard to believe personally. So to me, it's like this is a player who is helpful, who you have been missing all year. And had you had him, maybe your trade deadline is different. And instead of bringing in another small guy, you had a big guy. And maybe that changes things for the way this team looks right now. Like there are, again, this is a season with so many inflection points. But I can't understand why in a series where there's a guy like Jared Vanderbilt making an impact, you couldn't find a way to have Jonathan Kuminga help you. He is utterly unique to the Warriors team by virtue of his athleticism and sort of aggressive rim attack impact. Nobody else on this team can do that. So it is strange and frustrating to me that they have not found a way to use it. Although I think the style of Steve Kerr as it regards young players, particularly over the last couple years, makes it less surprising. It does frustrate me. I don't get it.
Something that I was talking about yesterday, Matt, and you're a student of NBA history. You care about not just what is happening or what might happen next, but what has happened in the past. And I know Warriors fans are frustrated by what they're looking at here, and I know that, the LeBron Curry debate is so tired I don't want to have it in any way, shape, or form. But what we really do have, and I think it's just been lost on everyone here, is this is our modern slice of NBA history. It was Jordan v. Pistons, it was Bird v. Magic, it's Lakers v. Celtics, and it's LeBron versus Warriors. I mean, that really has been the defining rivalry, not LeBron's team, but just LeBron versus Warriors for over a decade now, and this is our probably last look at it. Two champions staggered late in their prize-fighting careers, throwing punches at each other still in the middle of the ring, and it's amazing what so many fans, Warriors fans specifically, have lost in the frustration of this series is truly what a gift this series is to basketball fans of all generations. This is incredible.
Yeah, particularly, and it's unfortunate that the Warriors lost both of them, but particularly when you get games like 1 and 4, where it's back and forth all night, it's super competitive, it's exciting at the end, and again, the Bay Area would prefer it if it went the other way in the end, but. Right. But those games, they are moments to cherish for sure. And like you said, there are defining eras of the NBA very, very distinctly. And one of them now is, if you want to boil it down to its most basic elements, LeBron versus Steph. And it's, boy, has it been an entertaining era.
To put things into proper historical perspective, we go back to Berkeley, California, the Greek Theater, Matt Kolsky. I know you were there for all 3 shows just like I was. I want to talk to you, though, about the Greek tweezer into simple. This is the Phish portion of the show. Again, Matt Kolsky brought to you by the Ganja Jar. I
feel like I should pull out a Ganja jar, but I don't know what the legality is, and my Ganja jars are mason jars, so you see right through them. You know what I mean?
That's all right. That's legality. It's the internet, too.
Oh yeah, good point. This is a Ganja jar for you here.
That is an excellent looking Ganja jar.
I label it. It goes backwards on the screen. I forgot about that.
That's but all right. What did it say?
It says white runts.
White runts.
White runts. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Greek tweezer. Overrated, underrated, properly rated as the best tweezer of 4.0. What say you?
So, I think the main competition there is the Tahoe tweezer, right? Yes. That's what we're basically. This is getting very technical. You have a little extra length. I would say at times perhaps a little less focused, but there may be more different phases than the Tahoe tweezer, which for me, I am the particular type of Phish nerd who shows up hoping for that.
Yes.
Right? The multi-phase, I'll dance around to an NICU like the next guy, right?
But I would like a tweezer in 15 parts, please.
Exactly. And I do think, I would rate it number 1. And I might be slightly biased because I wasn't in Tahoe for the other one. But both incredible, both 5 out of 5 stars. You have to pick little hairs, and for me, I think the like more phases, more minutes gives it a slight edge.
My favorite part of the whole thing is the perfect transition into Simple, where the entire crowd is equally admiring that transition. They're thrilled that Simple is following this epic tweezer, and the appreciation that they just let out for what they saw. I'll tell you, there's magic moments where people sort of get it, and you know that Jillian is like slowly but surely like coming aboard. Watching her see like Phish history actually happen right in front of her. That tweezer hit her, and she got it. I looked over at her, and she was like, holy shit, this is like, I'm feeling it. It's happening. So you want to talk about, there's so much talk about grooming. The way that I have groomed my wife into a Phish fan is really, really something else. You'd be so proud of me. Matt, I have always been proud to share a microphone with you. You've always been a wonderful co-host. We've officially now done 523 shows together, so I'm going to adjust that total lifetime show count. Tell us again when you are on KNBR tonight around Warriors and what's going on.
Yes. Warriors tip 7. So we've got like a little 6:40. I'm going to hop on with FP. I've got a tight window, get in before the game, talk a little about it, and then I'm going to go watch the game while FP does his thing and then come back. Basically, as soon as the final buzzer blows, whatever happens, I will hit the air on KNBR.
Kolsky with the Little Warrior pregame. 3+ hours on Casey Schmidt hit a home run, followed by Kolsky doing Warriors post. That sounds like a good night on KNBR to me.
He did hit a home run, though. My goodness.
He did. That wasn't a cheapie. That was a big boy home run. That was very impressive. Give FP my very best. Great to see you. Love the glasses. Love the appearance. Let's do another one soon.
Love the plus. Talk to you soon.
There he is, Matt Kolsky, boys and girls. The one and only. Thank you so much, Matt. Great to see you as always. And in case anyone missed it, again, we are brought to you by my good friend at Ike Sandwiches. We are brought to you by a great bottle of liquor that is blackened whiskey. And I suggest you go out and you get them immediately. You will be happy that you did. A lot of love coming in for Kolsky here on the chat line. We will get to it when we get into Club Plus. There are questions about Kolsky's level of highness. The answer is there is always a baseline stream of THC doing its job in his veins, and that's why we've always worked together so very well, because I'm sure you could find the same thing somewhere in me. This is a big game tonight, clearly, for the Golden State Warriors. We talk about the concept of must-win sort of being a theory more than a reality. Well, tonight, welcome to the reality of the must-win. A loss means everyone gets to book their tee time at Pebble this weekend. I do think the Warriors carry the night. I do. I think the Warriors carry the night. If they go out, I don't see them going out in Game 5 at home. I see them going out in Game 6. Again, to be trusted at home, I think the Warriors are worthy of that. To be untrusted on the road, I think the Warriors are worthy of that as well. They've earned their reputation this year. By the way, I can take the headphones off now. I want to thank this entire audience for putting your headphones on, listening right over your iPhones or however you're doing it. But because of the interest in Warriors and Lakers, my podcast is being downloaded in, well, historic for me anyways, record amounts. And because of that, this morning I woke up to the news from my podfather himself, Benjamin Shapiro, saying you need to check out where you are ranked now in Apple's podcasts. I have the 4th most listened to podcast in the topic of sports on Apple this morning. Number 4. We're behind Bill Simmons and Pardon My Take and one other show, and it's us. Unbelievable. That's not me. That's you responding to what we're doing. That is you, my incredibly loyal audience, picking up what we're putting down And it's not like this is being distributed by some massive content creation company. There was one I was working for, but they done fucked that up. So here we are, literally taking over the sports conversation, just me and my wife from the basement. From the basement of my house. I have done more to grow this brand in less than 7 weeks than 9+ years at 95.7 The Game. It's unbelievable. There isn't a single Odyssey podcast that is anywhere near the level of success that I've had independently. It's been amazing. And it's amazing because of you and your response. We haven't even done any marketing. We haven't even done any official promotion for this. We have bought no ads. Nothing. Nothing. It's just all happening organically. Speaking of organic, make sure your ganja is indeed organic. But look, it's amazing what is happening, and it's happening because of you. It's happening because of you, your loyalty, this audience. You've been incredible. So let me tell you what I am going to be doing for you guys tonight. I am going to the Warriors game. I'm going to scoot out probably at halftime because we've got the grandparents watching the kids while Jillian is on the road working, her end of her career. She sometimes has to stop working on the Plus to work on her own career. How selfish. But considering she is now the primary breadwinner of this house, we'll support that to no end. She is on a little bit of a road trip. She gets to stay in the fabulous metropolis that is Fresno tonight. And I'm going to get home. I'm going to tuck the kids into bed. And then when the Warriors and Lakers go final, I am not hopping on the AMP app. I am coming right here to YouTube to join you for a little post-game show, and hopefully you plan on joining me around, call it 9:15, 9:30-ish. We'll go ahead and put a placeholder up, but don't hold me to the actual time. We will hit the start streaming button when that game goes final. And hopefully tonight it's not one of those, hey, I can start doing post-game midway through the fourth quarter games because something has gone horrifically wrong for the Warriors. We did that last game. We don't want to have to do that in this game. Well, we did that in game 3, I believe. Game 4 didn't go much better. I was on I was on AMP for game 4, but look, I've been called crazy. I'm glad Kolsky didn't call me crazy. He sees what I'm talking about. I'm starting Jordan Poole tonight because I'm putting him in. I'm seeing if he's got anything, and if he doesn't, I need to know that and get him the fuck out of the rotation for the rest of the game. Or he's actually giving you something, and what do you know? Jordan Poole plays again. Again, if he's not giving you something offensively, he gives you so little defensively, there's no reason to play him. See if you can get anything offensively going from Jordan Poole as a starter in his home gym and see if that can get working tonight. And if it can't, you short leash him and he's gone. And like Kolsky said, he might be gone because the amount of don't trust that guy that would be echoing would be significant. And again, the Lakers are just running 2 or 3 dudes at Curry every single time he's got the ball in his hand. Curry has to beat the Lakers tonight with the shots that he can create for himself, the shots that come to him in either the flow of the offense or the pick and roll. He needs to make the right decisions. He needs to be careful with the ball, and somebody needs to help him out. Klay Thompson, I'm looking at you. Andrew Wiggins, I'm looking at you. And as I said, Jordan Poole, I'm still looking at you, kid. I'm still looking at you. Steph Curry had more points in Game 4 than Klay and Jordan Poole in Games 3 and 4 combined. That's got to change. In Games 1 and 2, Klay and Poole had 82 points and 2 turnovers. In Games 3 and 4, they've combined for 29 points and 13 turnovers. Jordan Poole's not the only 2-guard fucking this up. Klay Thompson, I'm looking at you, man. You should not have slept well after Game 4. And the cycle of Klay is, oh, everything's great. Oh, no, things are not great. I don't believe in Klay anymore. Wait a minute, I totally believe in Klay again. Klay's back, everybody. It needs to be the Clay's back, everybody, portion of the Klay Thompson cycle, and it needs to be that starting tonight, and it needs to stay there for the next 3 games, or there will be no Warriors versus Nuggets, Warriors versus Suns. Around the rest of the NBA, look, the Sixers looked very good last night. There is no doubt about that. They looked like a much better team to beat than the Boston Celtics do right now. I saw this. This is a fascinating statistic. I need to pull this up here. Celtics and Sixers. I wrote this down. I saw this from ESPN Stats and Info. The Celtics are 37-8. That's an 822 winning percentage in the regular season when Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for 60 points. So when the Celtics version of the Splash Brothers goes off in the regular season, they're winning 8 out of 10 times. In the postseason, with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combining for 60 points, they're now 5-4. Their near 82 or 822 winning percentage drops to 555. Another Phish song, by the way. Drops to 555 in the postseason. They're 5-4 when they combine for the 60 points. Unbelievable. Little statistical anomalies like that totally always fascinate me. Look, Jimmy Buckets and the Heat tonight can extinguish the New York Knicks. That game's at the Garden, so we got 2 teams at home tonight playing for their lives. We got Knicks and Heat going off early in the TNT doubleheader, followed by Warriors and Lakers. Baseball, it is all just an afternoon affair. As a matter of fact, we got A's and Yankees in progress. Sean Manaea on the hill tonight as the Giants look to take a series off the Washington Nationals. They can do that with a win. Like we joked around, Casey Schmidt homered in his major league debut, his second at-bat last night. His entire family was there. As big of a friends and family section I've seen for a major league debut in a while. I guess tickets are available. But that was a great moment for him, great moment for that family, and can't wait to see how quickly Farhan yanks him out of the rotation to platoon him. Now that his career is underway. I'm joking, but also I'm not joking. And I'm never joking when I tell you, fuck John Fisher, because that remains a permanent thing. Before we get into Club Plus, there is one more story that I wanted to share with you today, and that is the NFL schedule beginning to trickle out. I think I saw, we're going to have 49ers, Eagles in Week 13. That game will be in Philadelphia, I believe. Don't hold me to that, though, because I thought I heard that more than I've actually read it, and I was looking for it, and I just didn't see it pop up anywhere. But we got an international flair officially handed out by the NFL today. Your full international schedule, which I saw on The Athletic, begins in October 1st. We got Atlanta at Jacksonville at Wembley Stadium. On October 8th, Jacksonville, Europe's home team, against Buffalo at Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham Hotspur. See, I learned a few things hanging around Ray and Kolsky, all those shows. On October 15th, the Baltimore Ravens, who rarely travel outside of, 1,000 miles from their own home stadium, they are going to travel many miles as they fly to Hotspur Stadium to take on Tennessee. So Lamar and company are on the road. Miami and Kansas City, probably the marquee international game this year. That's going to happen in Germany. We got the Colts and Patriots in a situation that neither one of those teams will probably be very good this year, but they are getting exported to Germany as well. And the other scheduling news that we officially have is it will all come out tomorrow at 5 o'clock our time, I believe, is that Jets and Dolphins are going to be playing the NFL's first ever Black Friday game. So we're going to get 3 games on Thanksgiving, your morning in Detroit, your afternoon in Dallas, and then whatever that primetime Thanksgiving Day game is. And then we're going to get a Black Friday game, and then the rest of the league will go, obviously, the following Sunday. By the way, that first ever Black Friday game is going to be on Amazon, so you better be prepared to stream this year if you want to be an NFL fan. Direct Ticket, obviously, is going to be on YouTube this year, and we'll see how that goes. I'm very pro YouTube these days myself, but I'm going to tell you, I do not like live sports on YouTube because of the redundancy, or not the redundancy, but the delay. Or is that called redundancy? I don't know. But there is a delay that is 30 seconds to a minute behind actual action By the time it hits that stream and looking at a second screen like Twitter and then having Tim Kawakami tell me, touchdown Niners, and, they're still snapping the ball on third down when I go up to my TV, if that's where I'm watching it, that gets a little frustrating for me. So I'm either going to have to put the Twitter down, which is hard to do when you're in the media, which I guess still am. I mean, when you got the number 4 podcast in America and the topic of sports, by the way, 105 total Apple Podcasts. 105 total. Now, these are all fluctuating numbers, and I'm sure to fall out of the top 10, top 25, top 50, top 100 when we're done with Warriors and Lakers. But the amount of people who have come to me, have found the show through Warriors and Lakers is significant. And again, I thank you all very, very much. Before we officially turn our attention to Club Plus, I want to say thank you one more time to Matt Kolsky for joining me today. That was an awful lot of fun. And I'm going to tell you that when you got good friends, you want to keep them around you. That's why this morning I woke up early and I joined Gianna Franco over on KPIX. I've already linked that video to the YouTube page. There was a mic problem right before I went on air. They fixed it. And when they pulled my jacket open, I have like one collar hanging. I look ridiculous on TV this morning, so enjoy the video. I got one collar hanging out, one collar tucked in. I look like I might be at a 70s party or might not be at a 70s party. I wore the sport coat that I call the sportscaster. I don't even think they let you own a sport coat like this unless you're a sportscaster. So you can go be a harsh judge of yourself. Before the segment is over, I caught myself, though, in the camera. Thanks a lot, Gianna, for not saying anything. I got one flap out, freaking Jeffrey Leonard over here. One flap down on my collar. I caught it in a video monitor, and before the segment is over, I fixed it. But I'm out there for 2 minutes looking like I'm just all cockeyed from a collar standpoint. This has been a fun one today. It was great to have Kolsky. It's always good to have you. We're going to go through everything you're talking about on Club Plus as we get there in just a moment. But for those of you listening now on the number 4 podcast and the topic of sports on Apple, let's just call it the number 4 sports podcast in the United States for the day while we can, because we can today. I want to thank all of you very, very much. Good luck to the Warriors tonight. They certainly need it. And I want to remind you that sports don't build character. They reveal it, and like that, whew, he's gone. And now, hey, now, where's my black enzyme? Here it is. Oh no, I unplugged it. Hold on. Special effects. Look at that. Whiskey gun. Thanks so much to everyone at Blackened, my man Charles, for getting this. I love this sign. I really do. I like holding it. I like making sweet love to it. It is nice. It's got a smooth texture. It's very silky. I like it very, very much. Let's see. Lot of love for Kolsky. Here on the chat line. Just love pouring out for the appearance. We were talking about the fact that Jordan Poole, I think, should start tonight. I mean, why not? Why not? You got to get something out of him. He's better as a starter than he is coming off the bench. It's not debatable. You can go look that up. That is true. True. And R.I.P. Cougar Rebel says, I would start Gary Payton II again. To me, I don't need to start Gary Payton II, but I need Gary Payton II thrown out on anyone who's killing you. Like, say, Lonnie Walker in the fourth quarter. I still don't know why he didn't get out on the court and try to check Lonnie. I don't get it. This is from Todd, who says, Damon, have you heard what Colin Cowherd said on the Herd Warriors trade Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins to Boston for Jaylen Brown and Malcolm Brogdon? I'll do that trade right now. I would do that trade right now. I really would. Because Andrew Wiggins has either got to get up on his high horse and start playing like he did in last year's NBA Finals, or Andrew Wiggins might have officially, shown us all he can show us. Again, RIP Cougar Reb says it's real simple. Jordan Poole has been damn near unplayable. He has, but the Warriors are damn near no shot to win this unless he does start playing. And since he plays better in a starting role, I would try to get him going early. And if he's not going early, you need to know that. And you just say, thank you, Jordan. You sit the fuck down for the rest of this game, this series, maybe, if that's what it takes. But I would try real hard to see if there's anything you can actually get out of him. Bryant liked that J Dilla Donuts poster that Kolsky had behind him. I'll say this about Matt. He knows a lot about sports, and like me, he's got incredibly good taste in music. It's one of the reasons why we have always gotten along. Let's see. Moody being shopped, and Kuminga was the untradeable one. Look, who is shopping Moody? And here's the thing. If I am Moses Moody's freaking agent, I'm not happy with this way this year played out. And if I'm Jonathan Kuminga's agent, I'm probably asking for a trade in the offseason. We'll see if the Warriors want to pick up, he got a $7-8 million tag going, or the rookie option to pick up. They should. They absolutely should. David says, hell yeah, man. Kolsky. Brian saying, you guys bringing back memories from those good old days again. We always like to bring back the memories, and nostalgia is a powerful drug. So is the ganja jar. I appreciate and respect Kolsky for being transparent with his anxiety battle he was dealing with. Glad to see my man is doing good. Matt has always been a little high strung, and I'm glad that he's recognized it. And I'm going to tell you, that guy is there are people who you can't trust, and there are good people. Matt Kolsky is a good people, a very good people, and somebody says right here, that is a solid strain that he showed us. Drew Down, that is an OG ganja jar that he had. Kolsky scoring major points. He is an indica man. I'm going to tell you, he's an indica, sativa, he's a hybrid man, he's a whatever man. Again, if you've been to as many Phish shows as both of us had, you're just, the answer to weed is just, yeah, sure, whatever you got. Whatever. It's a light switch. It's either on or off. I have absolutely no fucking idea what they're discussing beyond Phish. My Caucasian card is in danger. Look, Phish is a language unto itself. You either speak it or you do not. And if you're not involved in the language, I'd tell you that picking it up is just a difficult thing to do. It really is. It is not an easy band to just adopt. It takes a while. Like I said, it takes grooming. It's taken years for me to get Jillian into it. Little subliminal things along the way. It's not for everybody. They're lyrically one of the corniest bands of all time. But you're there for the jams. You're there for the guitar god. I haven't listened to Phish since 1990. Good to pull out some old CDs. Laura for Democracy. So here's the deal. Laura, no studio albums. You got to be listening to live Phish. Live. Paul Ortega says Oysterhead. Yeah, Trey from Oysterhead, but I never heard of Phish. It's Phish. And if you're looking to start with Phish, the P-Fish, I would go to 12:30:97 Tube. The name of the song is Tube. If you don't dig that, you ain't going to dig anything they do. That, to me, is a good entry point. Phish history. What is this? Did they play a second song? Ha, 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 ha. They do jam. What can I tell you? They do indeed jam. Could you ask Matt about his White Sox? No, we wanted to go ahead and have him enjoy himself. We don't want to do that. A lot of people, including our fearless chat room leader, Otis Bird III, it's nice to have Matt on, saying, when is it going to be Ratto? I texted Ratto about it, and in typical Ray Ratto fashion, he has not gotten back to me yet. Let's see. What do we got? Some responses to the fact that Damon Brew's show is now the number 4 podcast in sports on Apple. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Rockin' New Era 84. Thank you. 4. Lauren, thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Golden State, Lakota. A lot of love coming in here. The Plus is getting picked up by the Ringer yet? Going to be the Bay Area voice for the national audience. Here's the thing. I am just a voice for the nation. Bigger than the Bay Area. These bridges can't hold me back. And it's because of you. It's because of you. I like to think we're doing a really good job, but no matter what job we're doing, if people aren't responding, it ain't working. Thank you so much, Uncle Boys. Love you. I'll tell you what, if you're not eating a sandwich from Ike's today and you're looking for a cheeseburger tonight, slip by the Uncle Boys. They're over on, what is it? Is that Anza? Balboa? I can't remember. Anyway, Inner Rich, right off Arguello. I think it's Balboa. You go over there and you get yourself a burger from Uncle Boys. You'll be very, very happy that you did. What do we got here? JJ Raider. What are the Vegas odds that Draymond punches another teammate if they don't win tonight? It's off the board. Dude, where is Animal Draymond? Where is Angry at Everyone Draymond? Where is Fire-Breathing Dragon Draymond? Is he trying to be like friendly with LeBron? He needs to dial it up tonight. There is no doubt about that. Brucezilla, officially on the loose. Look, it's happening, man. It is happening, and I'm going to tell you right now what I have gotten from Jillian, the amount of help, love, and support, and another guy whose name I can't mention enough, Benjamin Shapiro, who was, like all of you, a listener, just a guy who loved the show. And when it was taken away, he reached out and said, Damon, I am pissed off that I don't get you. I want to help you start your podcast. Here's how you do it. And again, we are not even 7 weeks. We haven't even done 2 months into the podcast, and look at where we are. Look at where we are. Mrs. Pluck has got to be stoked. Mrs. Pluck is excited. Mrs. Plus is excited. Plucking and plusing all at the same time. Thank you very much. Never go full Jeff. Look, this is something, Tom. Thank you. We have known this. I was let go with the #1 sports show in Northern California. Now, tell me how good of a content creation company you are. Tell me the person who sees that I'm now ranked #4 from my fucking basement, doing it with my wife, not a content creation company, producers all around, like someone in charge of the podcast department. No, it's literally me and my wife figuring it all out on the fly, and we're already better at this than a whole goddamn content creation company whose stock opened up at 9 cents this morning. You think if I hit the open market, if I were listed on NASDAQ today, my shit would be going off at 9 cents? My dick. No way. No way. This is why it works. Michael, Damon, I've been listening for over 20 years, and it don't stop now. Bless you. Bless you, Michael. Bless you. Thank you all so very, very much. What's this? 500,000 for Poole? I don't get 500K. What, to fine him? What? I don't know. Balboa, yes. There we go. Let's get that plug out there. Happy to do it. Again, having been thrown into independence, I have a level of respect for people who are trying to carve out their own spot in business like never before. Never, ever before. It's something else. It takes guts. It takes a lot of belief in yourself. It takes onions. And as Drew Down said, you go ahead and you hit that like button, jabronis. Thank you, Drew. Indeed, hit that like button. Do it for me now. Open up an account and do it again. Let's see. How about this? I know more about the Warriors since you started this YouTube channel than I've known in my entire life. That comes from my sister. That's Lindsay Bruce, Pinky Manning, right there. Thank you very, very much. Kathy, for everyone in the back, could you please say it a little louder? Fuck John Fisher. I hope Vegas tells him to go screw. We don't trust you. John Fisher goes into deals crooked because he's a crooked son of a bitch who inherited everything. He doesn't know what real work, real business, or how to treat people are. Everything he ever had was handed to him. He works for nothing. And yes, he's earned nothing is what I meant to say. Maximum football. Hey, we'll have maximum schedules tomorrow. Maximum schedules. This is going to be a problem, Never Go Full Jeff. You're right. Imagine sports bars all over having to rely on YouTube TV for the games now. It'll lag and people are going to be checking their Twitter, etc. Yeah. It's something else. It's going to be a little bit difficult. It's going to be a little bit frustrating. What's that number? 4. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. All right, good boys and girls, I thank you. It is a big, 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 big game for the Golden State Warriors. They simply do not get any bigger. We know all about that. It can't get bigger than you got to win right now. Oh, look at Lindsay throwing a 5-spot at her brother. There you go. I'm getting ads now before viewing. There, blessings. Lindsay, I'll get you that 5 back at Christmas, I promise. Name that fish. Again, people remember the stupid drops from 2 stations ago. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Rockin' New Era 84. You are among the most loyal, most dedicated. My man, Otis Bird, thank you. Thank you all so very, very much. Lindsay, thank you for the 5 spot. We want to make sure we get all the proper thanks in there today. All I can tell you is that we continue to kick ass. Continue to kick ass right here. We are going to continue to kick ass. Oh, there you go. By the way, we are in the city on 4th Ave, just like the Plus on Apple, baby. 4th. The cross street is Balboa. That's right. It's not Anza, it's Balboa. Go take a right or left, depending on which way you're driving from, off of Arguello, and just a couple of blocks down, go get yourself an Uncle Boy's. You'll be happy that you did. Go get yourself my man's Ike sandwiches. Go get yourself a straight up delicious bottle of whiskey from my friends right here, Blackened. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am going to be back tonight after the Warriors go final. You join me back here. It'll be what, 9:30, 15? We don't know exactly, but it'll be happening. Join me then. Keep downloading that podcast. Things be going well, and I appreciate all of you for doing it. Without you, we couldn't be doing it. You're all awesome. And I hate to tell you that you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Good luck to the Warriors tonight. I like them in Game 5. Game 6, oh, we'll worry about that when that comes around, don't you think? Thank you very much.